What up, what up, what up, everybody? This is Darren from Living Life Fearless. Welcome back to our Music Files podcast. With me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Darius Walker. Today's date is May 10, 2018. Say what up to everybody.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Music Files. About to chop it up with all the new tunes and music news.
Yes, so on the news front, we're going to keep it kind of short because there's just been so many albums to drop. So we're definitely going to just hop into a lot of album and music talk with everything that's come out over the past 2 weeks. But first, we'll talk about Spotify. So Spotify just announced that they are no longer featuring R. Kelly on any of their curated playlists.
Interesting.
He's still on Spotify, like all of his music, but he's no longer on their like official playlist or promotions and stuff like that. They used to,
right?
They used to promote their music and stuff like that. So him and XXXTENTACION, they said they are part of a no hate something.
Wow.
Some new policy that they said they have in place, but as far as I've read, it's only those two.
Interesting. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Just those two. Well, I gotta see the list because they're gonna start trickling in here.
So I mean, like, obviously the R. Kelly stuff and everything
that kind of made sense.
Been going off him, seemingly never ending. Like 2 more came out, so
yeah.
The guy I once thought was pretty much invincible to all this, he might actually go down from all this at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems the opinion is starting to turn a little bit.
Yeah.
But still not quite all the way there. But the fact that Spotify is hopping in on it and like saying like, nah, we're not going to promote his shit anymore, is kind of a big move.
Yeah.
But not so big that they're not going to put any of his stuff on there because all his stuff is still there.
Right.
Like, if they really wanted to make a statement.
We still want the streams.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people, there's analytics that say we should keep it on Spotify.
Right.
So
they just want the appearance of, having what they said, values and whatever. But if they really wanted to make a strong statement, they would remove him completely from their service, no?
I mean, that's the real statement. It's not like, oh, we're going to take him off of the R&B playlist and the, like we're not going to put the Ignition remix in the 90s throwback or the 2000s throwback or whatever it was. Like all right, cool. That's not going to be in your mix with your curators aren't going to be allowed to pick R. Kelly songs but like if you really cared, you would take him off the platform. Like, it wouldn't just be like, oh, the curators can't use his music anymore.
Right.
Like, that's basically what they're saying.
But it makes for a great headline.
It does. It makes them look nice and like, oh, we're socially conscious and aware.
But you can still get all R. Kelly's music here.
Right. But if you want that R. Kelly, just come see me. Just go to his page.
I mean, I kind of understand R. Kelly's thing. Yeah. The whole mute R. Kelly thing is, I don't think it's caught on, but it's trying to. But
I mean, it's kind of been a while though. They've been.
That's what I'm saying. They've been trying for a long time, like a real long time. But like he's still touring and doing it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I still hear it on the radio every now and then. So.
But what I don't get is XXXTentacion's.
That was confusing. I was like, wait, just those two?
Yeah.
I was like, because that's basically, they're just basically highlighting that there are court cases against women pending, essentially. So
right.
They're like, they're saying we don't tolerate like male abusers, essentially.
But his people came out and they made a good point, which would have been my point immediately, is okay, so why us specifically when there's like this whole list of artists that you could remove for like almost the same thing or even worse.
Yeah.
So where does it?
The headlines.
So like, where does it stop? You know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is Kevin Gates getting taken off?
Right.
For kicking that fan? Like,
what about 6ix9ine? Is he getting taken off for his apparent
yeah. Well, I mean, they would have had to cross that bridge to put him on
sexual assault, whatever.
Yeah.
Famous Dex. Like, there's a lot of people. Like,
yeah.
These are just the new rappers that we're thinking of, but like, there's way more artists, not just rappers and stuff, that have like allegations and stuff like this. So where does it start? Are you just gonna remove all of them? You know,
right? So what are the playlists gonna be then? Like,
so I mean, it's a great headline, but I don't think it's really anything but
there's gonna be more pushback from the XXXTENTACION fans and just that in general, in terms of him being an up and coming artist and R. Kelly being a legacy act. Like, R. Kelly doesn't have to make new music or create any kind of type of career. Like, XXXTENTACION just started his career.
If it was solely R. Kelly, I think it would have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, I don't think many people would have pushed back against that, but then adding X in that same like conversation is gonna make this
slippery slope.
Yeah, definition of slippery slope. So I don't know. We'll see where that goes, but apparently they have some new policy in place to
I have a feeling
reflect
the
their values.
Thing will get reversed, but
I have a feeling
next X album he'll be on the playlist again.
I have a feeling R. Kelly's thing will get reversed too. I mean, if we're being honest.
It might get announced, but they'll probably won't put his music in.
He'll quietly slide back in there.
Yeah.
They will definitely want to announce it.
Back to the throwback section, and then like when people start playing his radio, then they'll put it back into the other shit.
He will quietly slide back in there for sure.
All right. We'll see.
And next is, I don't even know where we left off last time we were talking about Kanye West. I feel like there's been so much that has happened. I don't remember even the last thing we talked about that he did.
I don't even know.
I don't think we caught on to like the saying slavery was a choice debacle.
Was that after we talked about him?
I think that was after. Like, it was a real...
That happened after we already talked about it.
Like, bear with us, people. This was a real fast-moving, like, timeline here. Like, every day, seemingly every hour, something new was happening. And, like...
Yeah, like, what Kanye say now? Oh, shit. Like,
okay, actually, yeah, this did happen because I remember, because we were talking about what if he just didn't drop the Charlamagne interview.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't want to talk about... I don't want to talk about the slavery is a choice thing because I just think that's an idiotic road to go down, and I feel like people have talked about it to death.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about the Charlamagne interview.
The Charlamagne interview.
Did you watch?
Of course.
The entirety?
You had to watch it. I mean... That shit was like a Letterman Presents type of shit, like with Jay-Z on Netflix kind of shit. But like Charlamagne, I was like, what the fuck?
To be fair, it was recorded well before he started his Twitter rampage.
Oh, definitely.
So I mean, it kind of made him look bad in that sense because he didn't like actually like go at him about anything really. He kind of just let him talk.
Right.
But I mean, there's still a lot of interesting tidbits in there for sure. Like,
there's some pieces.
Just the land. Do you feel like you understand where he's coming from more?
I understand him more, but then part of me wonders if I'm like, if I should understand him at all. Basically, it's like, does he like, you know, it's Kanye. He might flip a switch and change up to some new shit tomorrow. And you know, like, he released a troll song Like, what artist released a troll song?
Scoopity scoop.
Like, he trolled everybody on purpose. Like, I haven't seen, nobody's done that shit. Like, he literally trolled with a song.
Yeah,
as a musician.
And people really downloaded it and like, yeah.
Dog, I was ready. I was like, what is this? Like, so every time I see Kanye on something since that happened, I'm like, oh, you know, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So I don't know, like, but in terms of like understanding where he's coming from, he's talking about the, you know, the one percenters and like just like what all the people that the Met Gala is for. It's not for the celebrities and shit that are there. It's for the people that own the fucking fashion and, you know, jewelry they're wearing basically. And
yeah.
So like all that shit, those are the people that he's talking about that are like multi-billionaires that he's trying to step into the industry with. So when he's talking about 50 million for Mark Zuckerberg, that's when his company was just starting, and his company is going to be $1 billion company probably in a couple of years. So like from needing 50 million to being worth $500 million, and you know, since he said that shit is part of like what he sounds crazy, but he's actually doing a lot of shit, you know? So like, I don't know. It's weird. It's hard. It's like, you gotta take everything Kanye says with a grain of salt.
Real,
you know, it's
big
like,
grain of salt.
Big grain. You know, it's like tequila. You gotta dump a lot of salt on that to like get the bite off of that shot. to Kanye shot with the extra salt.
I mean, for me, I don't think... I always kind of knew what he was trying to say and like his intentions were behind what he was saying. But I think what surprised me even most about it was kind of just how like selfish his reasons for a lot of this were.
Oh, he has no comprehension. He basically said, I don't think about anyone at all when I make my... when I come up with something to say. Like, he's like, basically, if it makes sense to me, I don't care how it affects people because it makes
people
sense.
Are like out here trying to put him on this pedestal about everything he says, and like, I'm like, bro, everything he's saying, he's not saying this with people in mind, honestly. Like, he's just saying it for himself. And he's talking about like free thought and like, okay, free thought is cool and all, but like,
he's like, oh, the Make America Great Again, the MAGA, that's what they call it, the MAGA hat. He's like, oh, that's a symbol of white power. Black people can wear it too. I'm taking it back.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it back. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
So actually, but that reminds me, did you see Atlanta, the show?
Yeah.
There's a scene in
we're
there.
gonna
remember with the hat?
You're getting ahead of me here. So
I just gotta put that hat there though.
You're getting ahead of me. So, I mean, for me, it's just like, I think the most telling part of that, I mean, he just said the usual Kanye shit. Oh, I'm gonna be a developer. I'm gonna be the biggest developer in the world. I'm doing this and doing that. Blah blah blah. Free thought. Okay, free thought is cool, but if you're not like having informed thoughts, or like you don't even have anybody there in your life to challenge that so-called free thought, like it doesn't add anything to the conversation. Like, you just saying shit, bro. And then on top of that, like when
like Charlemagne actually stumped him, he thought, and he was like, huh.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Like, bro,
I was like, what?
I think just this whole shit is just coming from him being in this giant bubble with people that are like afraid to like challenge what the fuck he's saying. Like, he's just used to people agreeing with him off top. So like, I don't think he's like a unreasonable person. I feel like he is the type of person that somebody challenges him, he'll like admit to it, like he did in the interview. But I think the most telling part to me was when he was talking about the Obama thing, when he was like, Obama.
Oh my God.
Chicago.
That was the most little kid reaction.
So I thought it was going to be like a much deeper reason and thing behind.
So did I. I thought like, oh, did y'all talk about
Joke's on me. But when he talked about it, he was like, oh, he called me a jackass, and then he didn't apologize.
Yeah.
I was like, so that's your whole reason behind That's it. Like, that's the whole crux. I'm like, so like once he said that, like everything else.
I'm his favorite rapper, and now
right. He
went
on
his whole
like, he's his favorite rapper, and now Kendrick's your favorite, and Jay-Z's your. I'm like, bro, this sounds like the most childish shit I've heard in like ever from a guy like this. And then like, so when he said all that, like just super childish reasons for what the shit he said.
Yeah.
That's when I kind of just like everything else he said was like pointless to me. Cause like that shit is just clearly juvenile, bro. Like you're almost a 50-year-old man and you're talking about this shit. Like, are you serious, bro?
It was hilarious. I was like laughing. I was trying to figure out what Kanye was on. Cause he was like
opioids.
He just Cause
liposuction.
Like, but
he did it for y'all.
He did it for y'all. Yeah, addicted too.
I did it for y'all. Like, yeah, when he said that, again, that's another thing. When he said that, I'm like, bro, how are y'all taking this dude seriously, bro? He just said that I did liposuction for all of y'all.
Yeah, that was the
I'm like,
biggest
liposuction, bro.
Bro, I was like, the fuck?
Yeah, what?
And you know what's
first
fucked
of all, who told you this was a good idea, bro?
His mom died from
exactly,
that same
bro, like,
exact operation, I think.
I don't know if it was exact.
I don't know. I feel like it was liposuction, but it might have been like some kind of cosmetics. It was definitely cosmetic.
It was cosmetic surgery, but I don't think it was liposuction.
But basically, I was like, how are you getting cosmetic surgery when your mother died from cosmetic surgery?
First of all, how is your wife or nobody around you saying, we're not fucking doing this? Are you serious?
Yeah, like, okay, you put on weight. You're a man. Stop. Yeah. I stopped drinking for 2 months and I lost like 10 pounds. Like,
liposuction. And then he's like, I did it for y'all. And like, I'm like, bro, like, that right there lets me know the mind state he's in. And I was just like, okay, nothing else he's saying even fucking matters to me at this point. It's like, how y'all taking this man so seriously? He just said he was addicted to opioids because he got liposuction because y'all was calling him fat.
Right. It's like, what?
I'm just like, bruh, all right, dog.
But it was so weird because then he was like, oh, that confidence. I was like, he was like so back and forth with it. So like, it's obvious he doesn't have confidence
clearly
as much as he did. Like, even though he's like,
if you're getting liposuction as a 50-year-old man and you're not like obese, clearly your confidence is shit, bro. Like, I'm just like, clearly.
Yeah, like you're supposed to be, you're fucking rich. That's the saying. You're eating, you're getting fat. Like, motherfucker, you can afford to eat, bro.
It just let me know that his mental state is not anywhere near where it should be for all these people to like be putting everything he's saying.
But you know what's
like,
crazy about that?
As this spokesperson for me, like, bro, this man don't speak for me.
I feel like that was a test, though. I feel like that was a social experiment, man. I feel like Kanye's messing with people,
bro. People really putting him up there like he speaks for me. Like, bro, this nigga does not speak for me. If you're letting this dude speak for y'all, y'all
trying
idiots,
to be a cult leader, bro. Kanye wants to be a cult leader.
He won't be Trump, bro. Honestly, that's his guy. He likes Trump because of what his following is and like what he did with his following, not like necessarily him as a person.
Did you see the Wild Wild Country on Netflix?
Nah, I want to check it out though.
With the Rajneeshi?
Yeah,
basically, Kanye's whole land reminds me of that. That land they built. They came out here. It's just covenant. He got the acres and he's like, I'm gonna build this and this here. He's basically building his own community. I'm like, dog, this shit looks exactly like the Rajneeshi, except he didn't force any community out. So Kanye could basically do it without getting pushback.
I don't know. The Ye shit for me is like, bro, I'm done. I'm tapped out. I'm gonna just need to hear the music and then I'll make my opinion, because the one side, the hear Ye versus people, I'm not feeling that whole segment and situation either. Like, I don't know why T.I. did that shit, bro.
T.I. did that because he knew he was going to get a press run off of it.
Yeah, but I'm not. Bro, they just recorded the whole conversation, then they made a video of y'all making the song after. I was like, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm not feeling this, bro.
But Kanye, if he already had a verse leading up into it, it was kind of weird. It was like, is this a setup? Like, what?
It felt like a setup, bro. Like,
I was like, how do you have a song ready that starts like this, like with some shit built? Like, what?
It felt like a setup, and I was just like, all right, I'm tapping out this whole Ye shit from till the album time, bro. And that's it. Like, And all these people saying that they're not listening to Kanye after this, let's be real.
They're lying.
You definitely are, bro.
He was just on that Christina joint.
Yeah, no, he wasn't on, but he produced it.
Didn't he have vocals in it mixed into
He might have. You know, he likes to use his vocals in his production.
I think he did. And what's crazy about that Christina video is that was well, never mind. That's a whole other thing. I was going to say she was doing some artwork. You know how those artists like Kendrick got that artist suing thing? Christina might have to watch out. Marilyn Minter, if she didn't know about it, that's exactly her work. The glitter mouth, like the kissing and the like haze. She's been doing that for like 30 years.
So, I mean...
But Kanye.
So, yeah. So, I'm tapped out. But what we did get out of this is one of the funniest SNL skits in a while with Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover. Hosting. And he... did you see the Kanye Place skit?
The Kanye Place. If you guys haven't seen if you haven't seen Donald Glover's SNL hosting, you have to watch that whole episode. Basically, this is a spoiler alert. We're spoiling the SNL, one of the scenes at least. The Kanye. It's
been out for a while though, and it's been out on YouTube and the internet long enough that
exactly. Yeah, so. But yeah, that shit was lit. I was like, yo, the sunken place right now? Like, but Kanye place? Like,
no, it wasn't sunken place. It was a riff off of the that new movie, A Quiet Place, where like you can't talk.
Quiet Place.
That's right. You can't talk, or like the monsters will find you and kill you. But like they couldn't help but talk because it was like in the middle of this Kanye rampage.
Right. Oh, that shit was amazing. Yeah, that wasn't the sunk. Yeah, I don't know why. I was connecting something else with the sunken place. It was about some other thing. It was a different connection. But yeah, no, with the little like, oh, that's what we were talking about with the Kanye tweeting and shit. Like Kanye said, so they were out in the woods, right, in the forest, and they couldn't say anything because a monster's lurking trying to grab them.
Basically, just watch A Quiet Place trailer and then watch this, and you'll know exactly what they're doing.
That shit was so good.
But when Keenan was like, when he had the hat, he was like, no, but Kanye, he got the hat, and he got it signed by Trump. And the kid was like, yo, let me see. Come on, Kanye. And then, like, he got snatched off. I was like, bro, right? I'm dying, bro.
Come on, Kanye, Trump. Like disappeared. Like, oh, shit.
That was like, I was like, well, at least we're getting some funny shit out of this, like, for sure.
That was the best. Like, Donald Glover killed that shit.
He killed that one, and he killed the Migos one, where, like, they're doing therapy.
That was so fucking good, dog. That shit was hilarious. Because they looked like him, too, for a minute. I was like, oh, my God. Like, it Keenan being, like, take off and shit. Like, that shit was hilarious.
That shit was funny as fuck, bro. So,
and I was like, this could totally be a Migos song. I was like, what did the
Migos no, it started out as, like, a legit song. And then, like, I didn't see the therapy part coming. And then, like, they went to therapy and shit. Like,
that shit was like, amazing.
What's this? He's like, hey, breakthrough. I was like, bro, like, this I mean, weak, bro. He bodied it. That was like one of the best SNLs probably since Dave Chappelle for sure.
Yeah. I haven't checked since then, honestly.
I just checked for moments for the culture.
Except for like, song releases, performance.
I mean, this is the start of the Gambino run, man. Like he's had a real big week. He's about to have a real big month, but he had a real big week.
Oh, that's why I was saying the sunken place.
So we have to talk about his music video for "This Is America,"
right?
Where he just passed 50 million views, and it came out like 5 days ago.
Swag. Shit's viral, as it should be.
It's viral gold, and it like broke through. You know how it's just some songs and stuff like break through, like that cultural bubble, and like goes spreads out like way farther.
One stays hip hop, one stays mainstream pop, teeny bopper. You know, like that one. This one like spread through to everything. You know.
When I saw it,
pay
it was
attention
a
piece.
topic on The View and like Good Morning America. I was like, yeah. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Are you serious?
Childish.
I was like, well,
Because
when
it's
I saw
Donald
that, I was
Glover,
like, bro,
and
this
he
is about
did
to
it
blow
so good.
up.
Yeah. Honestly, what's crazy is if he did his like first video I saw, Bonfire, now it would probably blow up. You know?
Yeah.
That's the one where he tells the story of like the black kid that gets hung every time they tell the story, and they're like reenacting it. So he like starts out, he falls off. I was like, that shit would be lit now. But so basically, Donald's always had dope videos that are like been really in depth. This video is very coded, but like very extremely well done.
First, do you think it would be as big if it was just the song?
No, it's not. It wouldn't be just as big with just the song.
I think the video is bigger than the song itself.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's like a. It seems like the song was written like with the treatment in mind, like or like after maybe, like I don't know. Like,
Yeah, it felt like the song was almost written for the video, like specifically.
Right.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And it was just one of them videos that like grabbed me immediately, like when you start seeing the visuals and like how he's walking through everything, and you can't look away like almost immediately with all that's going on. And I mean, like you said, it was coded, so I'm gonna let you just go ahead and break it down what you think you saw, like the meaning and all that.
Well, I'm just gonna like skip to like an end part real fast just to explain why I said that there was a
Sunken
Get
place.
Out. Yeah, so Sunken Place, that black scene at the end where he's running right before like you see him running from a bunch of like white rioters or just a bunch of rioters. He looks like he's in the sunken place floating, but also in the SNL performance, the actor Daniel, who plays the guy in the sunken place, introduced him. So that's what I was saying was there was a link. That's the link I was thinking.
There's always been a link between him and that because his song Redbone was linked very early on.
Right, because of the yeah, exactly. So it's really interesting threading the needle like with these like projects and just like collaborators. It's really cool. But so back to the beginning, it starts out with this like smooth, like tribal kind of like friendly, festival kind of vibe. Like yeah.
Yeah, it's like almost gospel. Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. But like I was like, okay, so what's going on, And then he starts walking, up to this guy. So the coded for shit for me, the first.
So the guy they said that is Trayvon Martin's dad.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I didn't do research, but that's what I read in a couple places saying that it was Trayvon Martin's dad was the first guy.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I gotta look again. I gotta look harder. That's what I'm saying. I haven't watched it 100 times like everybody else. I only watched it like 2 or 3 times, just because I was like, "Well, this is heavy." And then everybody's blowing up about it. All I could see on Instagram was clips of this video too, of that first part when he shoots the guy in the chair. Because basically he's talking about like this is America. So when he pops that, the gun gets handled with care and the body gets dragged away.
Like trash.
Yeah, so like the person who died is trash, and the gun is the thing that we care about more.
Even his posturing and posing why he shot the gun.
Right.
A lot of people were comparing it to like the caricatures from like the Jim Crow era.
Yep.
And like even the dancing and stuff that he was doing, like a lot of that.
A bunch of it, his faces, he would stop in a pose that was of like the old, just like there was like Coon Chicken, like
Uncle Ruckus,
like advertisements. Yeah, old Uncle Ruckus, like basically black exploitation before we took black exploitation kind of shit. But like, yeah, that shit was amazing. So that pose and then just doing all of that at once. So he's talking about blackness in America from the roots, and like so then that like that chanting and that gospel-y vibe was like kind of more haunting after that, because then he's like because he's drawing into slavery, and like from then, and like how these people are depicted even as free people, and then to now, like this is America, and then like so there's dancing, so he's doing like double entendres with like all kinds of shit, like kids, like the kids dancing could have meant so many different things. I feel like it meant different things in different parts of the video too. Like dancing was a way to get out of the streets. You know, it's a thing that like you know get out of the gang life. You know, because you have something to do after school, kind of shit.
I feel like it has to do with like how specifically like underprivileged like black communities and just culture and people in America just go through all this tragic shit, and like but you still kind of like compartmentalize like all the tragedy and stuff in your life, and like you still had to like life goes on like type of thing, like you're still dancing, like you still gotta do this, you still gotta like there's all this going on, but then like you're compartmentalizing the tragedy and like that, and like you're still smiling through the pain basically type of thing, and like
right.
And then I also felt like I had the second meaning of like just the distraction like of what like the entertainment aspect of our culture and stuff, like
right, like
we're distracting, like it's distracting you from the real shit that's like going on behind the scenes, like we're behind us, and like our focus isn't on what's real and like what's going on and the issues, and more and solely on like just the entertainment non-real part of it, like, you know.
Yeah, it's also a criticism of blacks, like, or just like minority culture, sort of like the old trope in slavery, like dancing for the master kind of thing. Like that's also in there. So it's like so many different meanings tied to that. And
I'm
then,
not
like,
so sure if it was criticism, but it was definitely like,
well, it's parody.
unabashedly.
So I mean, parody's
like,
criticism, and however it sparks conversation.
Yeah, I feel like it was just unabashedly like representation of the black culture, which is I think something he's been doing in everything he does since like Atlanta and everything.
Yeah, and then like the Charleston shooting reference. Well, it seems to provoke that
Definitely obvious
instance, but you know, there's been countless church bombings, and you know, in the '60s, if you look at what happened in the '60s, you'd be shocked at how many black.
I wouldn't, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you would, but the viewers and the listeners who don't know, there were quite a few churches that were black being burnt down by, you know, bigots and maniacs that were never called terrorists. But yeah, that it was a conversation piece about race, but it's just crazy. I don't know. Childish Gambino is a genius, you know, like
There was a lot going on that you have to watch multiple times to like catch everything that's going on and happening in the background and the foreground, and there's so many ways you can interpret why he's dancing in certain ways, why he's doing certain things, and it was just one of those that it was like the perfect blend of basically telling you what he's saying without necessarily telling you what he's saying, giving you enough room to like interpret it as you want. You know?
Definitely.
And it was just super meta, bro. Like it was like felt like as meta as like any of his Atlanta episodes he's had on Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like where he goes about speaking about a specific topic he wants to talk about, but he goes about it in like this super roundabout way, where it kind of reveals itself to you without it having to like force it down your throat. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You just kind of see how it plays out, like without really knowing, but you know. You know, it's like it's just a comfortable. He just does it in a very comfortable way, where like he just brings you. You're like locked in.
Yeah, where you can have like a conversation about it without feeling like it's confrontational.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like when I see The View and like Good Morning America speaking about it, then it's like, okay, he nailed it, bro. Like it's not something, these topics that you would expect to even be talked about on like these shows. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Oops. I mean,
and it was nice to have a representation that was about race in a way that wasn't about all the other random shit we've been talking about like race and stuff in terms of Kanye. So
yeah, he was like a great counterpoint to like all the Kanye shit that's just been going on.
Yeah, I was like, thank you, good Donald Glover. Thank
it was
you
like
so
a great
much.
counterpoint. Like, yeah. He's been representing us extremely well.
Yeah.
I can't think of artist that's more multi-talented than this guy.
Yeah, no, he's in the game a comedian, right now.
Actor, writer, producer.
Jamie Foxx,
rapper, singer. Jamie's the closest, but he just hasn't musically been relevant in a while.
Right. Definitely.
But at one point he was musically, and then he had the acting, and he was a comedian. I don't know how much writing he was doing, but he did have the Jamie. I'm saying he did have the Jamie Foxx show, so like that would probably be the closest equivalent, I think. But I feel like Jamie was more traditional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like Childish is that quirky way that kind of speaks to more people outside of the cultural bubble.
Yeah, well, he's like 15 years younger than Jamie.
Yeah, and he was also like a huge nerd, so like he kind of understands like both sides, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because he grew up in Atlanta, and so he knows how to deal with like all the hoodest, hardest black shit. But then like is a geek, so people think he's like a white acting black guy, or something.
They feel like,
which is so dumb.
I like this guy; he's relatable, like
yeah, Hence
but he has a clear understanding of like these things because like he brings it out in Atlanta,
which is amazing.
I mean, in terms of like all-time talented, multi-talented, it's hard for me to put anybody above him right now. It could be a recency.
Think really hard. Well, are we gonna put what are we putting up there though? Because like Childish's music catalog wouldn't stand next to certain people's music catalog. Whereas, but that person's like acting catalog might not stand up to, Childish's acting catalog.
But then it's also like it's not just acting. Now he's producing. Like that's the next. That's the big step is producing and writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it'd be like, because Childish, he was a comedian, but he didn't have nearly as much of an impact as like Jamie Foxx did as a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
In the show, the TV, it's to be seen, but I think Atlanta will go down bigger than Jamie Foxx show, even though we personally love it, Jamie Foxx show from when we were coming up. But I think
it just didn't cross over.
Yeah,
like we were talking about.
It could have.
Right.
I think Atlanta kind of has that beat. So, I mean, I would personally put Childish above Jamie Foxx right now.
I don't know. I can't.
Mine would be Childish, Jamie, Tupac. And Tupac only because he wasn't around long enough to do.
Yeah, he was 25.
Half the stuff
it's ridiculous.
He would have done.
Aaliyah would have been crazy by now.
Yeah, but she was just acting and singing. That was it.
Yeah.
Tupac would have been producing and writing movies and shows by then.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, he would have directed a few things.
Because he was a beast, bro. As an actor, he was a beast.
Yeah, no, he's a savage. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's really that. Yeah, Childish is very unique.
Very.
He's as a writer because like nobody really did the like music like that from a television standpoint. Like being behind the scenes in television. Usually it's people like he was behind the scenes.
He produced, like he created this as his own entity, you know?
Right.
But I mean, it's hard to say. It's also hard to say because without these guys before him, he would not be able to do this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you know, he's a beneficiary definitely of like them paving the way before. But his run is not over. He has the Solo movie coming out. He's in Star Wars, bro. So like that's kind of like that's kind of crazy. Well,
iconic.
Really crazy.
Yeah.
About to be
Him
Lando.
and Mace Windu. Him and Sam. No, I'm just kidding.
So he's about to have a massive like start to the summer. He about to he did this.
He's about to have his own action figures. That
Solo
sounds
coming
lit.
out.
That's crazy. You got your own Star Wars action figure for life.
He got Atlanta killing it. He says this is his last album, but I personally think it'll be his last Childish Gambino album. I don't think it's going to be his last musical project.
Yeah, he said he wanted to change his name for a while.
For a long time, he wanted to change Childish Gambino. Yeah. I think he would just do as Donald Glover in the future, but who knows?
Right.
But he got a big year.
Big.
Definitely got a big year coming up for him. It's ridiculous how talented this dude is.
Yeah.
So you guys let us know what you thought about his "This Is America" video. What messages did you catch that we didn't talk about, and what do you think the meaning is of a lot of what he was doing? Do you think it deserves all the praise it's been getting? Let us know in the comments, and I don't know. I personally think it's the best video since Humble.
Since OJ.
Different, too different for me.
Story of OJ.
In terms of visceral and just appearance and like the way it grabs you.
Oh, so you're talking about, but you said video. You just said music video.
Yeah, but I'm qualifying it.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, I can see that.
Especially like
Those
just stylistically and cinematography wise.
Yeah. Yeah. Videos are getting nice though.
They are. It's the return of videos now with J. Cole doing his thing with videos and like they are once again becoming important because they're telling like they're extending the life of songs and like telling the story even more than just because if this just came out by itself, it wouldn't have nearly
nobody would
a
talk
quarter
about
of
this.
the impact. Like, oh,
I mean, they talk about the
song. That'd be cool.
React to the song, but yeah,
but it wouldn't be.
What do you think
like
he
this.
means? And that's it. But like when you see the visual, like, oh shit, did you see?
Yeah, the visual definitely sold this.
Yeah, so
we're gonna talk about new albums. A lot has dropped. I don't even know if we're gonna get to it all, but we're gonna start with Post Malone.
Oh man, Post. I'm trying to remember. See,
Beer Bongs and Bentley.
The ugliest album art I've have ever seen. I mean, it made me not want to listen to it. Looking at that yellow cover, I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I didn't think it was a cover at first. I was like, Google it and look up and see if like there's an actual cover with the iTunes and everything. I was like, "Oh, this is what he's going with." Okay. Yeah.
All right, Post. I said okay. So, gave it a listen, and I mean, so right now I kind of sound like I got a little bit of like shade, but I don't. I've always been a Post fan.
The hate is about to come.
Nah, man. Post has always been like, I feel like he's only been leveling up. Like ever since he came out, he's just been getting better and he's just been putting out singles that are like.
So do you think he got better on this album?
I think he got mainstream on this album. I think
he's always been kind of mainstream though.
I know, but this sounded like a people pleaser like type of shit to me. It didn't For some reason, I just didn't feel the same way I felt about August 26th and Stoney. Like, after listening to it. I was, like, kind of waiting for a vibe that I didn't get. But the Psycho, that Ty Dolla $ign song, was nice. That was nice.
Been out for a while, but yeah.
I know, that's why, because it's a nice song. Rockstar's been out forever. You know, that I was like, oh yeah, that song. When I saw it on there, I was like, okay. But honestly, it's a good album. It's a
decent album.
It's just you know, all in all, he did well. But
I feel like it's just more Post Malone. I definitely don't think he elevated or evolved. In fact, I think it was a step back, and I can't decide if it was a step back because musically for him it was a step back, or it's just because all the other music around him has kind of gotten to where he was at before, like in terms of sound and style.
Maybe.
So like I haven't been able to decide what the reason was, but like you said, like none of this really grabbed me. Like songs on Stoney did. Like Stoney wasn't like perfect by any means from front to back, but I feel like the standouts were more impactful.
Yeah, like, this stands out. Like, this song is different. Like, you know, like I didn't hear that. And I was waiting for it.
And while this has standouts on it, it's not nearly as impactful or grab you as much as the standouts on his past projects did.
Yeah. Like, basically, I was waiting to hear something better than the singles he released. You know? I was like, okay, so what's he have
I've heard Rockstar
that's fire
for like a year now. So,
yeah.
It's not... Like, even though we heard White Iverson for so long before Stoney came out, there were so many other songs that, like, oh, damn, like, this is fire too, like, you know?
Yeah.
And on here, it was like, okay, Rockstar, Psycho, heard them both for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The rest, they were cool. Like, it was just like, felt like a album of a lot of filler music.
Yeah.
Non-offensive, not trying to really do anything. Just,
and it was weird too, because I thought he was experimenting, or said that he was. And
it literally sounded like everything he put out before.
Yeah, I was like, what happened to, like, I thought you were going to use more guitar and, like, do some, what the fuck is this? Like, that's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, oh, you didn't do anything different. That's what I was confused about.
I mean, it feels like just one of those albums you could just throw on and, like, not even think about. You won't,
I feel like the label
feel offended about.
Told him not to put a mixtape out, and so he gave us this instead.
Like I said, it's just not offensive in either way. Like, it's not going to offend, like, his fans before. It's not going to, like, offend any new listeners because it's just more of the same.
Yeah.
But not as good, basically.
But not as good, yeah. Yeah, nothing, like, yeah, no.
So after a 2-year wait for me, it was kind of disappointing.
It was underwhelming, for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that Post Malone, but because I didn't hear any new singles, that worried me. And then just because I don't like the long play single, I like how, you know, a lot of these newer successful albums have been dropping singles, like, the week of the release.
Right, so you don't get so burned out after a year of hearing Rockstar.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, the fuck?
So yeah, I just felt like after a 2-year wait, it was pretty underwhelming. And it didn't feel like anything I wanted to run back to.
Yeah. And the Beer Bongs and Bentley's theme wasn't even a theme.
Yeah, it made no sense. It was just like, I'm trying, hey, college kids, like, I'm one of y'all. Like, you know.
Yeah. Like, the fuck are
like,
you?
It's definitely like a frat boy album. That's what I feel like.
Yeah. No, yeah, this reminds me of, like, 2010 when I was, like, a sophomore in college or something.
Definitely a frat boy album. It's like the safe entry into hip-hop.
Right.
So, I mean, heavy. Y'all let us know what you thought about Post Malone's sophomore album, Beer Bongs and Bentleys. Do you think the 2 years wait lived up to the hype or not? Just let us know. So, Rae Sremmurd they returned with what was essentially a 3-disc album.
Yeah.
That kind of Outkast way, where they both did like their solo projects, but then they still put out an album where they were together.
Mm-hmm.
Shrim, Jimtro, and Swaycation. So,
yeah.
Let me know what you think.
There's probably like one song on Slim Jimmy's that's a keeper. if that
one song.
Well, they were the vibes were good, but
Keep
I'm not
God
checking
first?
for Slim Jimmy by himself.
Keep God first.
Huh?
Keep God first.
Yeah. I mean, or what? Like that's the only like the other stuff's just like filler music. Swaycation though, that was Swaycation, Sway Lee. So this project showed me really that Rae Sremmurd is good when it's Rae Sremmurd, and when Sway Lee is Sway Lee.
Yeah, I think most people already assume that.
It just reaffirmed it. Like,
yeah, I don't think it was a surprise to anybody that Slim Jimmy wasn't like this amazing artist.
I feel like Sway Lee should have known. Like everybody said, Sway needs to leave him. Oh, Jimmy, are you scared?
They're brothers, though. You ain't gonna do that to your bro.
I was like, why didn't he just let Slim Jimmy do a solo and put it together without his solo? Like, just let him do it and then do Rae Sremmurd, and then let him ride and then put out his own solo piece.
Because then they might not all check for Slim Jimmy, bro.
But it would be part of the Rae Sremmurd album, so they would have to, and he would get his own.
Well, credit. It is part of the Rae Sremmurd album now.
Yeah, it's working. It's still working. But I don't know, man. 27 songs or tracks.
21.
21. I mean, yeah.
No, 27. You're right. 21, 27.
Yeah, it's like,
you're right.
I was like, there was 7.
It was nine songs each one. You're right.
Yeah.
No, Swaycation was definitely the highlight of all three.
Yeah, I was like, that's Swaycation though. Like,
he got some dope melodies.
Middle section.
Yeah, he got some dope melodies, and Offshore is a great song. Yeah. Hard to Look. Like, I mean, I wasn't completely convinced of Sway Lee as a solo artist, but this showed me that he could do it and pull it off.
Yeah.
And that he is the more artistically inclined of the pair for sure, and he's just more versatile.
Yeah, he's more talent. Slim Jimmy's more energy.
Facts. But I still think they sound best together.
Oh yeah, them combined, because I'm saying the energy and then the bop that
with his melodies and stuff that he brings. Yeah.
Oh my god. It's always dope. Like, that's why, because they sound so simple, but then, like, because Sway Lee will give you this slow thing, and then Slim Jimmy, he's got this whole other vibe to it. So, like, it makes the song so much more impactful together.
Even though I didn't love Shrim, the part where they were all together, they still do sound better together. They sound better together, but the songs weren't better than what was on Swaycation.
Yeah.
And in fact, like, I mean, I brought up in my reaction that it was just like, it was like still kind of turn up music, but it wasn't. Like, it was very, I feel like all the songs were like reaching to kind of be in that same vein as Black Beatles was. Yeah, but
none of them got to they didn't feel like energy enough. Like, no. It felt like they were just
for
like
a Rae Sremmurd album. It was relatively lethargic, which was not what I want from a Rae Sremmurd album.
It felt like these niggas were laying out on the beach, fucking recording that album all day. Like, right. They were just too relaxed,
too chill, and that's not what I come for a Rae Sremmurd album for.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, it was beach music, not beach party. Y'all should have brought beach party.
Black Beatles was a great addition to what they were already doing. It wasn't like it wasn't like the only sound I wanted to hear from them.
For real, they were like, "Let's ride that wave." That's our biggest song.
They were really trying for that wave, especially on like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Perplexing Pegasus.
Yeah, Perplexing Pegasus was like a carbon copy of like
they were trying real hard to get that.
They tried real hard, and I don't like that song at all. It's okay. It's okay song, but I won't play it because I think of Black Beatles, and I would rather listen to that song.
So a lot of these little trap artists from Atlanta have been disappointing this year, man. I'm gonna have to add them to that list.
I know. What is going on? Atlanta's. Ooh, does that mean the South's run is slowing down? Is New York coming back?
That would hinge on a couple artists from New York, specifically Desiigner was one of them.
Oh,
who just dropped?
Spoke too soon.
An EP. I guess people thought it was an album. Then he had to clarify. Oh no, it's an EP. Which I'm glad, because if that was like his debut album, I'd have been like real pissed. I'd have been like, bro, what is this?
If that was his debut album, I was already pissed when I saw it. I was like, because I thought it was an album. I was like, wait, 7 songs, bro?
Yeah, and his Life of Desiigner is the name he'd been pushing for so long. That was going to be his debut.
Yeah. I was like, it is Life of Desiigner. This is the title that he's been saying, so
7 tracks are throwaways.
All 7 tracks are trash. Like,
I'm not gonna
I
say
didn't
that
even
trash.
get a song I want to play.
I'm not gonna say that because LA to NY. No, LA to NY.
All right, they're not trash,
shit, bro.
But
Tonka and After Party make me want to play it, but it's not like
throw it in rice, bro. And hope for the best. That's what throw it in rice means, people. Is you just you just put it to the side and hope for the best and check on it later.
Because
it's all right.
all the Lucy's he put out over the last year or so were all better than all the songs he put out on here.
Hell yeah, definitely.
Like, he had some real songs that, like, I was like, okay, he's building to something with, like, Thank God I Got It, Up, Life, all them songs.
Yeah.
And then
those songs were good.
Outlet, all them songs.
Quality, at least.
No, they were good. And then this came out, and I was just like...
What's crazy is I heard the album before I saw him put videos out, and then I saw what videos, and I was like, oh, Price Tag's a lead single? I was like... not a good idea. Like, I was like, why? How in the hell is that a lead single to anyone's album?
Nah, it was just But
luckily it's not an album. All I gotta say, luckily it's not an album. You just saved your ass, bro. We're about to get you the fuck out of here. If that was, I swear to God, if Life of Desiigner was your debut album,
yeah, it would have
we would have got you the fuck out of here.
But I mean, like, there's still like LANY. Like, I like that song a lot, actually, because it's got that trap sound, but it feels very New York. You know what I'm saying? Like the energy and shit. Definitely. Feels very NY, and that's like the lane I want him to be in.
Yeah, he needs to work with that. He needs to develop it more.
And because you still capturing that NY energy and feel.
Yeah, I'm feeling real good about living out here in New York. It changed my whole perspective on all media. Like, I understand things way better now.
So, yeah. I mean, it made me go revisit his past shit, and I was like, yeah, this is a clear step back, because even New English had a lot of shit on there that I fuck with heavy. Yeah. Yeah, this ain't it. Definitely. This ain't it. Kanye needs to stop tweeting and kind of, come get your artist ready for his debut, because this wasn't it. This should have never came out.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Because especially, it feels like this nigga had all the time in the world. Like, you should have 100 songs to choose from.
Yeah, that ain't it. Timmy Turner's still hard, but this ain't it.
I mean, Timmy Turner's better than this 7-song project.
Oh, I'll tell you, all the songs, all the Lucy's he's dropped over the year or so has been way better than any of the songs on here. Yeah. There's enough here to make me still want to hear an actual debut. But he's going to have to step his shit up way up. That's
why I say he's lucky. Like, I haven't gotten him out of here yet.
Oh, like, he clarified.
I'm anticipating... Now he's got even more pressure. Now it's even more. So this better have been a pump fake, bruh. Like, you better just like.
Because I can't say he's been on a bad run, because he did a bunch of dope songs like Muramasa and Calvin Harris. Not Calvin Harris, Diplo. So like this, like, But
Yeah,
this, nah. No.
Well,
He gonna have to go to the drawing board on this one.
yeah, sorry, Desiigner. Life of Desiigner. It's mediocre.
Let us know what you guys thought about Desiigner or Rae Sremmurd that we just talked about. Styles P from New York dropped a kind of surprise album. I didn't expect this.
Well, because he just dropped a EP or a
mixtape.
Mixtape.
Maybe it was
Nickelback.
EP. I don't know. What's the difference nowadays?
Like 2 months ago or something.
Yeah,
March.
and he's been doing a lot of songs with like his signee, Nino Man, whatever.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Like freestyles. I don't know. But he dropped an album called G Host.
Yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised. Styles P has always been one of my favorites out of D Block, just out of New York in like the late 90s, early 2000s. I always felt like he was super underappreciated and overlooked. But this right here let me know, like, he still got it, bro. He low-key might have dropped one of the hardest albums to come out this year.
Dog. When I played that shit full, I was like, how the hell? I was like, basically the shit was just slapping the whole time. Like, he did it so well that, like, when he did give you the all the way 90s vibe, it was so on purpose. Like, it was like the 4th track in or something, like Cool OG or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta pull up the track, but yeah, like
Coolest OG.
Yeah, so like that's when he gave you the boom bap in a way that was real chill, and like, okay, these are the roots. This is, but then like all the beat selection in this shit was lit.
It was great.
It was so hard. Bro. Like, oh my god, the bass. Like, I don't know how his beat selection was vicious in this. Is all I gotta say.
I think Bubble Up is a legit single.
I feel like half his albums are like, compared to Desiigner putting out 7 songs, I could pick 7 songs that Styles could have a single.
I feel like this is the direction I wanted Jadakiss to come out with, and he did not.
No, for real. And what's cool is Styles mentioned Jada. He was like, if he's like, if Jada's Jason, I'm more Bourne, like Jason Bourne. I think that was like a line, but I thought that was lit. He was just killing bars. Bars.
I don't even feel like we need to talk about bars wise with him because it's
Styles P.
He's got whole decades of work to prove that he got lyrics and bars.
Yeah,
I was just mostly surprised at how the sound, where it was like
it didn't even sound aged.
Like, he didn't like run away from the sound that we've come to know and love from him and like what he loves, but he still embrace like more modern approach to it.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like it was reaching. Like with Jadakiss album, it felt like he was clearly reaching for like trends and like what's hot right now, what type of beat is hot right now. Let me get that,
Well, that's why I was worried, because some of the Styles P stuff before I thought was a little reachy. In terms of like that Nickelback, there were a couple like Drake samples I think he ran on. So I was just like,
not on this
I don't know if I like you using Drake stuff, bruh. I was like, that's kind of weird for, an old school New York guy to pick up some Drake shit to mixtape. But like, it wasn't bad either. It was kind of hard as fuck. But still, I was like, I don't know what he's going to be doing on this album, and he killed it. So I'm definitely going to be playing this for a while.
Yeah, this one was pure Styles P, but modern. And so, like, yeah, this surprised me, but it was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and what's really cool about it is, like, the other album we're going to talk about soon, like, coupled with this one, just took me back to like the late 90s and like the early 2000s. It was like, felt like the like Noriega days and stuff.
So when people are saying like real hip hop is dead, it's like, bro, shut up. Like, shut up. Like, you're just saying this because it's no longer the most popular style of hip hop, but there's clearly real hip hop out there, bro. You don't even gotta look that hard.
Yeah.
Like, there's been so many albums already this year that are like pure hip hop.
A lot of them.
And the next one you were mentioning and talking about is Royce the 5'9's Book of Ryan.
Yes. Oh my God. Ugh. Fucking amazing. I don't. I just had to jump in, yo. That shit. Okay, so I said J. Cole's album was the best rap album of the year. Now I'm not so sure.
Really?
I'm not sure. They're close. I have to give them both a very thorough listen because they're actually really fucking close now.
Okay.
This Royce album.
Hear your reason why.
Well, okay, so you know how like when people say like, "Oh, I really like their music, but I don't really know the artist. Like I don't, know them like that." Like you listen, you kind of get it. Like so the thing about Royce's album, this one's introspective. It's like personally telling his life story almost. Like so like when he came out like this in this way, but like it was like a movie, like or like episodes, like his skits. Like I didn't actually get tired of him talking. Like it was a really interesting story.
Oh, it was like supposed to be like the whole way through. His son is basically like asking him questions about his life and.
Well, yeah,
really
it starts out in so it's a cycle. It's him as a kid, and then him as a father,
and then him as a father with his son. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
else who also did a similar approach? Skyzoo.
Yeah, he did. I was thinking about Skyzoo when I was listening to this Royce project, but
very similar approach.
Yeah, very similar approach. But at the same time, like I said, since I've known Royce the 5'9" for longer, he's saying stuff he's never said before.
Oh, for sure. He dug way deeper than I've ever heard him go.
Yeah, so like this is, I would say, Royce's best project.
It's his, ever. In my reaction, I call this this is the definitive Royce the 5'9" album.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, if you don't know about Royce,
this is the one.
This is the one you put people on.
Because he gets very introspective and he talks about his life and like talks about his father and then obviously his relationship with his son and like dealing with addiction and how it's been passed down and like all this other stuff. And he still talks about, and he still keeps his like topical raps, which he's known for, and his like witty humor and tongue-in-cheek approach and the bars.
He's talking to like his people too, like his brother and shit, like.
Right, and he pulls out like some singing on here and like
my god, those are my favorite songs, dog.
Like Cocaine is pretty much almost all singing, which is crazy to hear from him.
It's amazingly shocking. I was super surprised because
it's one of my favorite songs on the album.
I was like, wait, who is that? I was like, oh my god, Royce.
That's Royce.
And it was fluid. Like it didn't sound like it sounded like he's been doing this for a while. But
the production was fire. The bars are just out of the world. Caterpillar.
And then he put the bonus track remix at the end. Oh my god. Did you listen to the remix?
I did. Of course I did.
How did Logic get so much time? Logic got like 20 minutes on that shit.
Yeah, we went in.
Yeah, but I'm not mad at it.
M got a lot of time on there too.
But that's Eminem. I'm just saying. Like,
and M, this is the M that you want to hear. This is a revival M. This is like, I'm coming in to body shit like him.
Right. But but then they released that one, so I heard that was like one of the lead singles. I think was that Caterpillar joint.
Yeah, Godspeed was crazy.
Godspeed was dope.
Power was crazy. We was talking about his father.
Everything. It was interesting how the first
a lot of bars.
It was cool how the album just opened. Like I was like, what is this? A bunch of like 1 minute joints in the beginning and shit.
Yeah,
but,
I ain't know where he's going with that.
Yeah, but it was nice. It reminded me a little bit of like Big Crit's album in terms of like melody and rap. Except in Royce's.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time, Royce has kind of been stagnant and stuck in like his box.
Yeah.
And like he was always stuck behind Royce. Oh yeah, Eminem's guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Slaughterhouse. But this is like the first time I really feel like this is Royce.
Yeah, he's shining, not like his boys, him and his boys. Like,
so yeah,
because even with the like P Rhyme, the Prime.
Yeah, still.
That was like
him
and somebody else. So
Premier.
Like, Premier,
you know.
Yeah.
So I definitely think this is the Royce, the definitive Royce the 5'9" album, and like he should definitely be more seriously considered as like one of the top lyricists out.
Yeah, I mean, this is an album where like when Joe Budden was saying he thinks Royce is one of the like greatest rappers of all time, like
this is like kind of something you could hold up and be like, look.
Yeah, like, oh, okay.
This is what he can do. Yeah.
I know this is what you were talking about. Like, this is all the stuff you knew about Royce that we didn't know. Like, because I was like, what are you talking about, Joe? Like, how is he gonna eat all these dudes? And I was like, oh, okay, got it. He's got that in his toolbox. I didn't know. Didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like a lot of his past albums have just been like some cool songs, but mainly about showing that he can rap really, really well. Yeah. And this is showing that he can still rap really, really well, but he can also make really, really good music. Yeah,
well, and a whole concept album. Like, I'm sure he had to write out the script for the skits where, like, the
he had to dig deep for this
talking
one.
And all that stuff. So, like, imagine all of that. Like, that's, like, not writing a song, but writing dialogue. And, you know, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he killed it. He killed it. It's going to be a tough... I want to do an end of the year list, like top 20, but this going to be a
so
hard year, bro. Like, I don't know.
Last year, I was just like, oh, yeah, Jay-Z, Kendrick, you know, like, it was just like, okay, I know where I'm standing, you know, and Rhapsody. And
I could probably make a top 20 right now.
Yeah?
And this is great.
Top 15.
No, I'm just talking about just music, not just rap.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
No, I can definitely make a top 20.
I mean, I could make a top 20, but my last 5 would be, like, interchangeable.
It's only May. So.
For real.
We got a lot coming out.
Yeah.
But to switch it up from rap and hip-hop, Janelle Monáe, Dirty Computer.
Yeah, Dirty Computer. I haven't given that a listen yet.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you're fucking up.
That shit's
Dirty
been
Computer
glowing.
is like... Remember when I said like she's always been super talented and like she has all the tools to be like a superstar in music and like and like be one of the top pop artists, that kind of new generation of pop artists.
Yeah.
I think this is like that album to prove what I was saying.
Finally. That's tight. That makes me excited to hear it now that I haven't really... I don't know why I've been sleeping on it, but I definitely been sleeping on it. I mean, I see the posters all over New York and shit.
I'm sure you've heard her singles. There's no way you haven't seen her videos.
Oh, definitely. I definitely heard at least 2 songs. But
So, like, I mean, beginning of her career, she's always been super talented, and she's always kind of experimented with, like, electronic sounds and synths and stuff with pop. And, like, she's always had this obsession with, like, androids and stuff, because I was, like, her alter ego in her music.
Yeah.
Even the name of the album, it's Dirty Computer, so, like, it's still kind of got that futuristic electronic vibe to it. Mm-hmm. But it's, like, her most stripped down stuff. Like, it's no alter ego, it's just her. And, like, she's talking about all her personal stuff, and, like, it's really deep with stuff, and, like, you know, a big part of her was, like, sexuality and stuff like that, and, like, she talks about a lot of that, and, like, and the music isn't so electronic driven. There's a lot more just traditional instrumentation and sounds, and, like, it just feels like a lot more personal.
Yeah.
And when she got, like, a lot more personal, it just felt like you connected so much more with the songs that she put out.
Right. That's what I've been waiting for. That's kind of like what I was saying with Royce. Is like, you know, you always want to know who the artist is. Like, I kind of get their thing, but like I don't know them, and then to deliver the work.
And she lets you know who she is, and like she even got like this rap song on here called Django Jane, and she bodies it, bro.
Oh my God, I've heard people talk about that. I haven't checked it yet.
Django Jane bodies it.
I mean, with a title like that, it sounds savage. You gotta body that shit.
I mean, this is just a front to back album for me. Like,
oh, that's clean.
Front to back, good. No skips.
She's has that like reputation already as like somebody who would be able to produce a front to back.
She's always been talked about as like a person who is like the future of music and pop and like all that, because she's doing so much next level shit already.
Yeah,
but it was like she just never fully delivered a full project of it, and I think she
that's
delivered
what's crazy.
A full
she's
project
been in the
here.
game for so long. Because I remember when P Diddy he had a show trying to get a new assistant or some shit. And she was like the act that he made them like work for to like put on a showcase. Like when she was first like signed early in the days. Yeah. She was already like the same, like her style was that then, you know.
No,
like,
she always been super stylish, like musically.
So I remember seeing that. I almost want to look up that clip just to see like how she was hanging, because she was so professional, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like, you know, it's hard to work with some people who don't get like my style and how like I do things, you know." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
yeah, she was just always an artist. Like I was just always wondered, like, why isn't she bigger than she is?
Right.
But this right here, yeah, this is the one. This is the one.
Well, congrats to her. Shout out to Janelle Monáe.
Always
killing it, being a style icon. You know, other than being a style icon.
and another one, she's acting too.
Oh my God, that's right. She killed that. She was oh yeah, the Moonlight, right?
Not Moonlight. It was the one with, they were astronauts, not astronauts, but they were working at NASA.
Oh, she was the yeah, with the three women. Coco.
You wrote the reaction, bro.
I know, bro, but the movie, it's been so long.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, of course I know what you're talking about. It just sucks that I can't think of the movie off the top of my head. And I can't even remember the actresses' names. I'm like, but I know, I like see them in my face. Like
Taraji P. Henson.
Taraji P. Henson. Shit. Yes. Her. So it was them in that movie. What the fuck was that? I haven't seen it since then, dog.
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures! Because it's about the numbers and the hidden oh my God.
And actually, no, you're right. She was in Moonlight too.
She was. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So she got 2 Oscar awards.
Yeah. The same
year.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn, she's bodying. Hey, so she might be in that childish conversation now.
When she starts producing, okay.
Hey,
you gotta be a 3. My rule is to be in that conversation. You gotta be 3, a triple threat, not a double threat. Triple.
Okay.
There's a lot of double threats. I mean, you could say 50 Cent.
Oh yeah.
Well, technically, no. I forgot, but technically 50 is a triple threat. Because he's producing TV shows.
Yeah. 50.
So he's in that list.
50.
I'm add him to that list. I don't know where, but he's in that list.
So Donald Glover is above 50, though.
Yeah, acting-wise. And Donald Glover does like 6 things, so
yeah,
it's kind of unfair.
Right.
Okay, moving on from Janelle Monáe, Dirty Computer, is, I don't know how to say his name, Steve Angello or Steve Angello.
I'm not his name.
The DJ. For those that don't know, part of the basically iconic Swedish House Mafia back in the day. He just put out a super introspective EDM album himself.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, but all this self discovery and like what's
Everybody's
going on
reflecting
around,
right
but
now.
but this is what it is called human, and like it's super spiritual and like super
Yeah.
almost religious. He even has T.D. Jakes on there, like the opening track
Yeah.
called
It's
Rejoice.
I wasn't expecting what I was hearing, honestly. But
It's
it all
it's
made
definitely
sense.
vastly different from like his previous sounds and music.
Yeah. But not in a bad way.
No,
It was
I think it was. Uh,
It's just not traditional house music. It's not like you can just turn on one of those songs and it's the same ride the whole time. Like,
no, it's extremely varied because obviously he's multi-talented over the years and can do all types of different electronic and EDM sounds. Like he got some really harder electronic sounds, and he's got some dance songs and songs with vocals, songs without vocals, and like it's just super varied.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it just was cinematic as fuck, bro. Like the
Yeah, it
sound and
was.
stuff, like
It really was though.
the
It did feel like
breakdowns
each
and like
song
the
was a
build
scene.
ups and shit. Like he really set the scenes even without vocals. Like he really set the mode and the emotions of what he was trying to like get through the album.
Well, the vocals were more just like instruments too, most of the time.
Yeah, they weren't like the focal point for sure.
Yeah.
And it just felt like a ride of like self discovery, like he was trying to do, and like I feel like he accomplished what he set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like a journey through like all this stuff, and I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, but it was just cinematic as fuck and like
Yeah.
very surprising
No, it was lit. It was tight.
from this guy who has like all these massive singles and stuff to do this type of album in this
Yeah.
direction.
Because the like stuff that I expected from him in there, he did it really simple and like, I don't know, it was nice. It was just, it wasn't jarring to listen to at any point, and
Like his most house type of single to me was like probably like "Break Me Down," and even that
Yeah.
isn't like
But it's not
crazy
the-
house, like like just
Yeah.
for the radio type of thing. Like it served its purpose for the album.
right.
It was
And
dope. This was dope.
It didn't
album.
feel out of place either, so
Nah, this was a dope album.
yeah. Definitely, especially for an EDM DJ. I don't know, usually there's only like 3 songs that I think are listening to on an EDM on any album. Usually, if I can find a good 3, I'm usually happy. But this one, this is probably a front to back like playthrough.
Nah, he definitely had me like pulled in with shit like Glory and like flashing lights and like all that,
Yeah. Oh man, when that came through, flashing lights.
like some of the drops and shit on there were like insane. Like I
Because
said,
like I said, they don't expect it. You're like, oh, it's nice.
like I said, it was just super cinematic, and I could definitely like I could get pictures of like a movie like Tron or some shit like using the soundtrack.
Yeah, I was
and,
thinking
like,
Tronic too. I was definitely thinking.
I was like, bro, this is crazy.
Like
So-
entering this atmosphere, this world, technology.
So bravo to Steve Angello or Steve Angelo, however you say it, for Human, one of the best EDM electronic house, or whatever you can call it, albums to come out, in my opinion, this year.
What do you guys think? Is he right? Because I can't argue. I don't know enough. There was oh yeah, one more, right? At least.
I mean, there's actually
Well, there's
a ton more,
okay.
but we're not gonna touch on all of those for sure.
There's way too much music that dropped.
Yeah, we're just gonna end it right there. We're gonna stop with that. That we usually do like 6 albums, so
Yeah, that's like the cap because we usually don't even do that many.
normally like 3 to the
Yeah.
most. But I have like 5 more I could talk about. But if you want to know my opinion about like Twin Shadow's newest album, Carriere, or BlocBoy JB or Zoo. You can check the website for my official reaction to those. I think everything except for BlocBoy JB. I don't think I put that one up there yet.
Oh, I was just about to ask you about the BlocBoy JB too. I was like, I don't think I.
Well, I'll give you my short opinion. It's exactly what I expected. It's the same vibe throughout, like literally. It doesn't change. His flow doesn't change. His cadence doesn't change. It's all in terms of making
Tekashi 6ix9ine album, but in the BlocBoy JB version, it's like whatever you know him for.
This is
gonna give you
what
that song.
This is all time. You're about to get. No. It's like all in terms of making you like want to dance, basically. And like,
yeah, well, because is he the poster boy for that one? Like,
yeah, he
dance?
started it.
Yeah, so I mean, he's just making music. It's kind of like Soulja Boy when he made that dance.
Oh, he definitely falls into that D4L Soulja Boy lane. Like this isn't like people are like going crazy for him. But like, this is not a new thing in hip hop. Like we've been through this phase with D4L.
We have this
and all
every
that.
few years. We get a new one,
a new dance, and like he puts out songs that all kind of are variations of that dance.
Yeah,
and it's always that same rhythm. So you can do that dance to every song on the album. So it's like, yeah, probably.
Well, that's why, like, you saw in Childish Gambino, he actually did the dance first.
Yeah, he did the dance.
That's in the dance. Like, that dance is in the video. So that's how popular it is. But.
So we'll see how long the dance lasts, because you know how that goes. It's only typically...
Did he Millie Rock in the video, though? Did Childish? I don't remember seeing the Millie Rock. Ooh, is the Millie Rock dead?
It's not dead, but it's definitely not... It's definitely kind of starting to reach its peak.
I was like, he did the Nene, though. I was like, how the Nene still, like, but...
They all are peaking. So, I mean...
Yeah.
My thing about BlocBoy JB is... What do you know about BlocBoy? What song do you know BlocBoy JB for? Expect that for the whole album. That's it. So before we get out of here, we got to tell you what's coming out, man. Tell you what's new and what's upcoming.
Yeah.
So dropping tomorrow. There's a couple big ones. So drop tomorrow, May 11th, 2018. We get Arctic Monkeys, Tranquility, Base Hotel, and Casino. Name of the album. Beach House, which has secretly inspired almost all of the Weeknd's first music, and a lot of that whole alternative R&B sound. They're coming out with a new album called 7.
Okay.
Charlie Puth, or Puth, how do you say his name? Puth?
Yeah, or at least I've heard people say it that way.
All right, whatever.
In interviews or something.
He's coming out with an album called Voice Notes.
Oh shit, that's Charlie Puth. Oh, that's probably gonna be lit. From what I've heard about this guy, on there. He's really talented from what I've heard. So
he's got some big features on there. So
yeah.
I'll give it a listen.
Right. He's held high in like already.
I feel like he's a strong songwriter, and he's probably written a lot of songs for people.
Right. Yeah. He's probably.
I think he's like in that vein. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So. Seven Dust, All I See Is War is coming out. I mean, that's mostly it for new albums dropping tomorrow. Dropping next week, May 18, 2018. We get Five Finger Death Punch and Justice for None. James Bay is dropping his long-awaited sophomore album, Electric Light. That's a must check out for me. Parquet Courts, Wide Awake. And yeah, that's it for most noteworthy dropping from May 18, 2018. So that is it for us. This week's Music Files podcast. Today's day is May 10, 2018. Thank you guys for listening as always. If you have any opinions about anything we brought up here, leave a comment down below wherever this goes up. Also, give us a like, share it, or subscribe to us, our website, or to the podcast where we put this up. So, I forgot to mention this earlier, but our podcast is now available on iTunes. It's on SoundCloud. It's should be live on Stitcher by now. It's on Google Play. We're basically putting our podcast out everywhere that podcasts are hosted. So, except for Spotify, we're working on that. So, wherever you typically listen to podcasts, you can find us there now, hopefully. And, give us a subscribe, man. Share us. Help us out. If you have any questions, comments, topic suggestions, do that in the comments below, or you email us directly at podcast@livinglifefearless.co or at livinglifefearless.co/podcast and fill out the form, and we will try to get back to you or give you a shout out in a future video. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the show. Thank you for listening. We will be back shortly with even more music.
Yeah.
Peace.
Living Life Fearless. Music Files.